anymore.
There's no life. Didn't even see a bird.
Is there a...
Hello everyone, welcome to your channel. Today, we're taking a look at the top 5 best survival movies currently available to watch on Netflix. Survival movies are always captivating, as they show one person or a group of people struggle to stay alive in dangerous situations. These films shine a light on human grit and ingenuity in the face of life-threatening challenges. In this video, I'll introduce you to 5 movies that exemplify the genre and feature incredible stories of survival against the odds. So, let's start the video.
What are you looking at? What did you see?
Number 5. Alive. Alive is a 2020 South Korean post-apocalyptic action horror film directed by Cho Il-hung. Starring Yoo Ah-in and Park Shin-hye. It is based on the 2019 script Alone by Matt Naylor, who co-adapted his script with Cho. Oh Jun-woo, a player trying to survive an epidemic of zombies. He is alone in his family's apartment when a mysterious disease that causes those infected to attack and eat uninfected people breaks out in the news and around him. From his balcony, Jun-woo sees a panicked crowd fleeing and being attacked. When he opens the door to the hallway, a neighbor barges in. The man begs to stay, but succumbs to infection and attacks Jun-woo. Jun-woo pushes him back out and locks the door. He then receives messages from his parents, telling him they are safe. Jun-woo blocks his front door with the fridge and posts a rescue request on social media. And does everything he can, like stocking up food and making arrangements to keep himself alive and safe. Jun-woo attempts suicide. After hearing his family might have been killed by zombies, he was going to attempt suicide by hanging, but manages to free himself when he sees the laser pointer's light moving around his apartment. Kim Yoo-bin, a survivor, living in the opposite apartment, signals to him, and this film shows us how it felt in the beginning of this global pandemic, the loneliness and isolation, and so many people attempted suicide, because there was no hope, and everything was falling apart. Number 4. Against the Ice. Against the Ice is a 2022 historical survival film directed by Peter Flint and written by Nikolai Coster-Waldau and Joe Derrick, based on the true story recounted in Two Against the Ice by Ejnar Mikkelsen. The film was shot in Iceland and Greenland. It stars Coster-Waldau, Joe Cole, Charles Dance, and Hayda Reed. At least 2 sled dogs die about a half hour into the delightfully pulpy Icelandic-Danish survival adventure, Against the Ice. In 1909, Denmark organized an expedition, led by Captain Ejnar Mikkelsen, to compete for American dominance of northeast Greenland. The idea was to prove that the island was not divided into 2 distinct parts. Leaving the crew on board, Mikkelsen embarks on a journey across the ice accompanied by the inexperienced Ivor Iverson. The duo managed to prove that Greenland was just an island, but getting back on board was more difficult and time-consuming than they thought. After facing hunger, fatigue and a polar bear attack, they found the boat broken into the ice and the camp abandoned by the crew. With a lot of mistrust and paranoia, the fight for survival is increasingly difficult. If you have already seen the movie Arctic and liked it, you will definitely love this one, and I suggest that if you haven't seen this movie yet, watch it now. Number 3. Adrift. Adrift is a 2018 survival drama film, produced and directed by Baltasar Kormakur. The film is based on the 2002 book Red Sky in Morning by Tammy Oldham Ashcraft, a true story, set during the events of Hurricane Raymond in 1983. The film stars Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin as a couple who are adrift in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. In September 1983, Tammy Oldham Ashcraft and her fiancé, Richard Sharp, were hired to take a 44-foot yacht on a 4,000-mile journey from Tahiti to San Diego. About halfway through their cross-Pacific journey, they ran into Hurricane Raymond, a tropical storm which had been building in power for a couple of weeks. They struggled to control the yacht in 145-knot winds, and Sharp was washed overboard, lost in the mountainous seas. Ashcraft had a head injury, and the yacht was badly damaged, but she managed to jerry-rig a sail, and then navigated her way, manually, using a sextant and a watch over 1,500 miles, to Hawaii. It took her an astonishing 41 days. She survived on peanut butter. In 2002, Ashcraft wrote a book about her experience, Red Sky in Morning, a true story of love, loss and survival at sea. Adrift, the film adaptation directed by Baltasar Kormakur, wears its heart on its sleeve. It's not just a story of an incredible feat of survival, it's also a love story, presented with the subtlety of a sledgehammer.
A needle in a blue haystack.
Is anybody there?
Halfway around the world to find you.
I'm not letting you go.
Number 2. Bird Box. Bird Box is a 2018 American post-apocalyptic horror thriller film directed by Suzanne Bier and written by Eric Heiserer, based on the 2014 novel of the same name by Josh Malerman. The film follows the character Mallory Hayes, played by Sandra Bullock, alongside Trevante Rhodes, Rosa Salazar, Sarah Paulson, Jackie Weaver, and John Malkovich. Bird Box's plot revolves around the uprising of supernatural creatures, which surface the worst fears and regrets in the mind of people who make visual contact. That would explain why the blindfolds. Much comparison has been made with the film A Quiet Place. One movie where people can't talk, and the other where they can't see. So, it's doomsday, the end of the world, and it has come in the form of creatures who instill so much anguish and despair that it makes people commit suicide by merely looking at it. There is no rhyme or reason to the arrival of the creatures all over the world, but the wave of suicides begins in Russia and quickly sweeps the whole world. Most people die, and the survivors need to blindfold themselves so that they don't end up killing themselves. If you're a fan of gripping post-apocalyptic tales like The Road and A Quiet Place, then you absolutely cannot miss adding this movie to your must-watch list.
Did you hear that?
And number 1. The Platform. The Platform is a 2019 Spanish social science fiction film, directed by Galder Gaztelu Urrutia. Starring Ivan Massagué, Emilio Buol Coca, Alexandra Masange, Antonia San Juan, and Zorian Aguilar, winner of TIFF's People's Choice Award. Nominated for 3 Goyas, including Best New Director and Best Original Screenplay. The film is based in a vertical prison, where food is lowered top to bottom, and each subsequent level eats the leftovers of the floor above. There seem to be at least 2 ways to get to the hole. One is by choice, the other is because you have committed a crime. The hole is a prison with hundreds of vertical levels. Each level has 2 prisoners. Level 0 lowers a tray full of carefully prepared food, which stops at each level for a few minutes. Each floor consumes the leftovers of the level above. If someone retains food after the platform leaves, then the level will either heat up, and burn them, or go cold, and freeze them to death. Each person is inserted randomly at a level, for a month, then drugged and relocated to another random level. If the person can last a set duration, he or she is released. If, like me, you saw the Snowpiercer series, and liked it, then be sure you will like this one too, and it is worth watching. And that concludes my list of the top 5 best survival movies currently streaming on Netflix. I hope you enjoyed this tour through some incredible true stories of human endurance and the will to survive against formidable odds. Films like these never fail to show us the limitless strength of the human spirit. Whether facing the extreme elements, life-threatening injuries, or being lost or isolated, these stories shine a light on how far people will go to stay alive. Please don't forget to subscribe to your channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any new video reviews. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends and family who enjoy the survival genre. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Upgraded to a category 5.
We need to make sure everything's secure.
To hope.